Okay, so I'm going to show you how to graph the first line in the system of equations given on my discussion post. C equals 50 times H plus 80. This was the equation where we assume that the number of gallons of paint needed is 1. Now I've drawn already my rectangular coordinate system with a cost as the dependent variable. That's the vertical axis. And the number of hours worked is the independent variable. That's the horizontal axis. And I'm going to use a faster approach that you should have learned last semester on page 803 in your course text. There's 4 steps. I'm going to demonstrate how to graph a straight line using those 4 steps. We note that we already have one point for this line right here, 80. That's the y-coordinate, of our y-intercept. If we made h here 0, c would be 80. So when h is 0, here's h is 0 on the x-axis, c is 80. That's how this 80, that's why it's on the y-axis. Because any value on the y-axis is where the value on the horizontal axis, the h-axis, which is the same as the x-axis, is 0. So that's my first point. So I'd like to say, as a way of remembering, begin with B. This is our B. So we're going to begin with this B right here. That's our first point. And then we're going to use the information about our slope. Our slope here is 50. That's our M. And that tells us that the line is rising up 50 and running to the right 1 unit. It's the rate of change. It's changing, the cost is changing by $50 each hour, $50 per hour. So I've scaled my axis where each notch is $10. So I'm going to rise up 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 50. And I'm going to run over, since my denominator of the 50 is 1, I'm going to run over by 1 unit. Land, make my point, and then I'm going to connect the dots. And that's my straight line. Now you want to graph the second straight line in the same way and see whether they cross, and if so, where do they cross. It should be consistent with the solution you got when you solved the system of equations. When you solved for both h and c, you found the value for h and c that satisfies both equations at the same time.